behavioral questions ask you, what would you have done in the past in this type of situation? Give me examples of that. It's based upon the theory that past performance dictates future performance. When I looked at the various merits of these two types of questions, it's pretty clear to me that there were advocates for both, and there are a number of people that say both are highly predictive. Actually, I like to hedge and ask both. So I might ask, so let me describe a situation for you and tell me how you'd handle that. And somebody tells me, and I say, have you had a situation like that in the past? How did you handle that? Give me some examples of that. So we get a very comprehensive look. So we're asking questions now that are relative to the type of situations that people are going to ask and experience in the job. And that's going to give us more of a structured interview. The other thing that I like to do is to encourage people to check the halo at the end of the interview. You come in, you naturally put the halo on somebody. Great. Now they've gone through your structured interview, you've assessed, are they answering this the same way that our top performers were? Do I like the answers? If you can say at the end of the interview, gosh, I really liked the person and I really liked the answers to that the person gave, that probably is a person who is a good fit. If you look and say, you know, I really liked the person, but didn't sound so much like our top performers, I didn't like this, it's probably a situation of infatuation. It's probably going to fade, and you ought to look very, very hard at whether that person is the right person to get married to in your company and the impact that that person is going to have on your company. I'd also like to talk about negative first impressions. Those are very hard to overcome. You know, just as we put a halo on people, we will put horns on people. We come in, we don't like them. And so now we are going to impute all kinds of negative traits that we have absolutely no foundation in. One thing that we have to recognize is some people are very good at interviewing. Some people are nervous and not good at interviewing. They may be tremendous to work with, but the interview is not good. And you may actually be losing a great candidate because they're having an interview that's not necessarily a great first impression interview. I like to think in terms of the founders of Google who say when they met each other at Stanford, they both found each other obnoxious. If they hadn't stayed in that relationship and overcome that first impression, it would have cost each of them about $6 billion. So there can be value in staying in the conversation and seeing if you can overcome some of those initial first impressions. You may at the end of the interview be able to say, you know, I didn't like the person at the beginning, but boy, they gave great answers to these questions and their answers sure did sound like my top performers. Maybe we should give this person consideration so that you can take the horns off. As I say, it's very hard because we all are human and we're very quick to point those horns and we're very quick to put on the halo.